Monday. I'm Leslie. I'm the leader of the Reading Safari and Stream programs. This is Simon, my son, and my helper for today. We're going to be doing bubble painting, and two of the main components are paint. This is acrylic paint and dish soap. So the other things I will go over with you in a minute, but those are the main components. So just stick with us. We've got this really cool project. So to make bubble paintings, we're going to need a few materials, and here are the things that we're going to need. For starters, this is kind of a messy project, so having paper towels handy is a good idea. You see Simon's got one right here. We are going to need paint, obviously. We've got a few colors to pick from. We will need dish soap because this is an important component of what makes the bubbles. We'll need some water. We're going to need containers to mix our paint, our soap, and our water in. So I've chosen these jars, but you can use any kind of cups you want. You'll need straws. So we've got stainless steel straws, but we also got some plastic ones. So whatever you have on hand will work. And then just to be safe, you might need some spoons for stirring or getting the paint out of the jar. And then of course you will need paper, because that is what we are going to make our bubble paintings on. So, all right, I think we're ready to get started. The first thing that we're going to do is pour water into our cups or our jars. I'm going to put a lot in because we're going to need a lot of liquid in here. Okay. All right, I'll have to get more water for that in a second. But while I'm doing that, Simon can add he's going to add a squeeze of paint and a good squeeze of soap, and then we'll mix it up. We've got the spoons. Okay. Good. Okay. These colors look good. I think they're going to look really good together. So you can see that this has already gotten kind of messy. So I'm going to put down some more paper towels. We got everything mixed together. We got our awesome colors, and now we're going to do the most fun part, which is blow the bubbles. Now we're going to be blowing bubbles in these mixtures right here. But we want to be sure that if you are doing this at home, that you do not drink what's in the jars or in your cups, okay? So you have to be very, very careful. So we're gonna try that. Simon, you think you can do this without drinking? Okay, so we're gonna blow like this. Get lots of bubbles like that. Practically overflowing or overflowing. All right, I'm gonna try that one. Okay, and now we're going to take a piece of paper, and you're supposed to put it on top of the bubbles, and they're supposed to leave little colored imprints on here, but you have to do it over and over. So we're gonna just keep blowing and then putting paper on. You wanna try that on yours, Simon, too? Okay. Yeah, you can do it on the same side. That's fine. Let's see here. Let's see here. Is it doing anything? Yeah. It is? Okay. So I'm just only getting a little bit here. I don't know if we need to add more paint because it's coming out so faintly. Is yours showing any color at all? Oh, it is. Yours is showing more colors. Okay, so maybe let's take these out. Okay. Okay.
Got some bubbles.
Yeah, let's try this. I'm wondering if it has something to do with certain colors being more effective. All right,
bright colors show up more because on white paper there's a lot.
Yeah, so maybe you have to do it to the point where you're just leaving bubbles all on the paper. So we're starting over with less water, and we're gonna add, because you see these are pretty good color, but we're gonna add a little more paint to these three and just a little more dish soap to all of them. And this is what we do when things don't work out the way we think they're going to. We kind of experiment and see if we can get them to work differently, to work better and more efficiently the next time. Did you get some of that? All right. I think we got enough red, so we're gonna leave the red out. I'm gonna do just a little bit of.
Did you do the black?
I did, yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit of dish soap to them, and then
let's mix them.
Yeah, we'll mix them. I think what happened the last time was that they were too watery, and so we need to work with them not being as watery. All right, so we ready? Let's try bubbling again, and we'll do some experimental pieces of paper, okay? Okay. Wait, did we even get to this? Hold on. Oh yeah, I can see a little more. I think the problem might be with this one is that it's kind of a light color. All right, you want to try putting your paper on those, seeing how it looks? It transfers to the paper well. Okay, we got some light blue, we got some red, but we can't really see the yellow or the black yet. So you think we should keep trying? All right, I'm gonna focus my attention on this one. Let's see. Nothing still. You want to try your black one? Try the black one. There you go. Now we got some more blue, but still no black, huh? So we've been at this for a little while, and this is what we have so far. And one of the things we've realized is that the best way to get the bubbles onto the page is you're gonna have to kind of like scoop them, I guess, with the paper. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. We're gonna do this. And then basically just make sure that you're just really actively going in there and getting the bubbles and then leaving them to dry. So one thing that I have realized with this project is that it would probably be beneficial to do it on a thicker piece of paper, like construction paper, maybe something like watercolor paper, because this is very thin, and this is coming out to be very wet. So we're gonna let it dry for a little while and see what happens. I just had a really brilliant idea. They do happen sometimes, not often. I am going to use these spoons, which I've had this whole time, to scoop out some of the bubbles and put them on the paper, because I think that might be a more efficient way of getting the bubbles onto the paper as opposed to just putting them on top of the jar. So let's see how this goes, okay? All right. Got I'm just putting them on these pieces of paper that were, oops, this one's not working so well. That's like experimental, because that's what this is. It's basically just an experiment, and nothing needs to be perfect, ever. So let's try these. Some blue here. All right, so we're gonna let that dry, but in the meantime, this is how our other one turned out, the one that we were waiting on. As you can see, it looks really cool. It's, you know, it's kind of like wrinkly and stuff, but I bet if you did it on a piece of paper that was thicker, it wouldn't be wrinkly. But I still think this looks really cool that you could do something with this. You know, if you like to do anything like Mod Podge or scrapbooking or anything like that, or maybe writing somebody like a note or something like that. But the important thing with this is letting it dry. It's gonna turn out, I think, still wrinkled when it's completely dry, but I still think it looks really cool. So we're gonna wait and see how this one goes too. We are all done, I think. We're gonna end our little experiment here, but I wanna show you what we ended up with after we added more bubbles with the spoons. So as you can see, the paper is not as beat up as this one. So this one's pretty wrinkly. This one, you know, it has some water, you know, like some crinkly to it. It has, you can tell that this isn't dry yet and that it's had some contact with water, but it's not as bad as this one. I still really like the way both of them came out, but I think this one was easier with the spoons. Another thing that I realized was that these jars might not actually be the best type of container for making this type of art. You definitely might want to try using something with more of a wide mouth, because then it would be easier, I think, to get the bubbles up. So those are just my thoughts on this. As usual, it's always an experiment, and that's what's so fun about it. I think these turned out really cool, and I hope that you will do this very, very messy project at home. I could also recommend that you use a tablecloth. A tablecloth, I think, would be really good. Some kind of really cheap drop cloth or a tarp or something like that, easily, that you don't need, that either is not special or that's easily cleanable. So anyway, I had a really good time doing this, and I hope you enjoyed it too. So we'll see you next time for the next Maker Monday. Take care.